Hi everyone, my name is Nicola and Simply a Stitcher. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, it's great to have you, and just sort that out. And if you're returning, thank you for coming back and spending some more time with me today. So today, sorry, that sounded all wonky. So today I'm going to be doing a stitch with me, and it is a Wednesday, so it's a new start day. And we have this piece today. This is my new start. This is called Christmas Cat, and it was a freebie from Geckorouge a year or so ago. And it was just after I got the Witchy Cat, the Halloween limited edition, and I thought that that one would make a very nice companion piece. So yeah, I'm going to get cracking. It's going to be stitched on some 25 count 1/1 full cross, and I'm doing it as a center start. So with this one, there is rather a lot of red. There's more red than anything else. I also have today a number of comments to go through, so we're going to be having a look at those while we get this piece underway. Let me just put my needle in the middle so I can see from the right place. And I am. Yeah, I've got a number of comments to go through, so yeah, we're going to get cracking on those. And then we are down to one more new start, which is quite amazing, really. We have finally, well, we've reached the end of our initial new starts for this year. So yeah, the next job is to create another wheel with the next crop. So what I'm doing now is, now I've got a lot of new starts, it'll be 2 finishes, 1 start, and I've got the Witchy Cat that I'll be starting next week, and then on the let's see, the next Wednesday is the 30th of April, so there'll be no new start on that day. The next new start will be the 1st of May, which will be the piece that I am doing as a sal. If you've not seen that, check out the description box below. But yeah, so let's get some stitching miles in this lovely cat. Oh dear, excuse me. There's a few colours with a lot of stitches in this one. 310, 747 has a big number as well. Because this is a freebie chart, I have actually got all of the DMC numbers as well. But yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy this. Yeah, so I'll be doing 2 finishes, 1 start, and this piece is officially the smallest one. So I'll be going back to focus on a finish with the smallest piece. Probably in May, for the simple reason, or after, you know, the next sort of new start that I'll do for 2 finishes, 1 start, for the simple reason that I've decided Saturdays are my best day for stitching. Sometimes on a Saturday I can get the thick end of 3,000 stitches done. So what I've decided to do is to keep Night Cafe getting some stitches. I'm going to put it back in the rotation as usual, because, well, it's still got its place in the rotation because I never deleted it from it. And as well as its rotation stitches, my extra stitches on a Saturday I'm going to dedicate, I think, to Night Cafe, because it will then keep it going. I mean, I'm 60 something thousand stitches in now, and it's come a long way by being the focus for a finish, or the focus for extra stitches, should I say, since Pandemic was, well, the stitching was finished on Pandemic. Still got a little back stitch to do on Pandemic as well, but we've got a 4-day weekend coming up here, so by the time you watch this it'll be Easter Saturday. I've had Good Friday off, off on the Saturday, I'm off on Easter Sunday, and I'm also off on Easter Monday. But Easter Monday will not be a stitchy day as such, because Hannah and I are planning to go on a long walk. So yeah, I've been trying to get out and do a bit more walking lately. I've obviously, you know, if you see my recent Flosstube, you'll know I've had 1 or 2 health concerns, and obviously I've had all this dental work done, and I've been trying to get out and walk to look after my health as well, to look after my mental health as well as my physical, and it's quite nice to get out and go for a walk. Tomorrow I will be, well, tomorrow is Thursday, I'm filming this on Wednesday. Friday I won't be working, Hannah will, but I'll be walking down to meet her from work, and then we will go and have our nails done, because these are overdue. And then Saturday I'm at the hairdresser. Sunday, what am I doing Sunday? Easter Sunday with the stepdad. He'll be coming over for his Easter Sunday dinner. And then Monday, me and Hannah will be going on a long walk, so I'm keeping myself moving. Anyway, so I've got some comments to go through, and we're going to get cracking on those. And the first lot, well, we're starting from Flosstube 14, where it was entitled Another Lap Job, because again I got my stitching on my lap, because I didn't want to put my face on camera. So yeah. The first comment is from Enid, Itching for Stitching, who sends me a wave. If you like samplers and Hands Across the Sea and stuff like that, pop over and have a look at Enid's channel, Itching for Stitching. She does post floss tubes on there reasonably regularly, but yeah, go across and give her some support. And then our next comment is from Ashley Stitching Corner, and she says, lap job, love that. Great progress as always, so inspiring. I think the bee is going to be one of my absolute favourites. Yeah, the bee is lovely. It's a lovely piece. Okay. Oh, where's my mouse? It's there. No, I don't want a new desktop, thank you. So on that Flosstube, on the picker wheel, the draw was for Unicorn, my Lorna Laine piece for the new start. And Sharon Fennell says, I could hear Hannah's cheers from here. And then she also says, Night Cafe is looking great. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, Hannah was very pleased that the unicorn came out. And Laurie echoes those sentiments and says, Unicorn, it's about time. And I did get started with that. And yeah, it's looking quite good already. It's a very delicate piece. I'll just brighten that up. You can actually see that it's red now. Okay. And then Kay, who is Stitchy Pfeiffer, comments on my Anita in Verity start, which was a couple of weeks ago. I think Kay's catching up on Flosstube. And she says, hi Nicola, I'm so sorry you've been unwell. Hopefully it'll be short-lived and you can get back to normal. This, of course, was in relation to me having the dental work, and then a couple of days later, me literally being, you know, sort of knocked for a loop kind of thing. It just, you know, unwell feeling just sort of hit me quite quickly, actually. I agree with the person who says they like the new way of showing your projects and hope you can incorporate it in on some form of it into weekly Flosstubes going forward. It is something I'm thinking about. I haven't made a decision as yet. You know, I mean, for me, it's, you know, I like to, you know, sort of be, well, I'm not, don't get me wrong, I don't burn for being in front of the camera, but, you know, being in front of the camera for me, I think it's nice for you guys when you can see me, and I don't have a multi-camera setup, unfortunately. It would be nice if I did, but sadly I don't. This new project is cute, whimsy, and a good contrast to the last few projects you started. The colours in it are beautiful. Absolutely. The colours in that one are. And, you know, I've said it before with the Anita in Verity piece. If I'd have been looking on the website, it's not a piece I would have picked. But it's really, really nice that I've been able, you know, to, I've had the opportunity really to stitch it. Not being something that I would have picked, but it's a real nice piece. It's something different, if that makes sense. Okay. My best wishes to Andy and the girls, and look forward to seeing you all in the next live stream. Oh, I hear Hannah. Hannah's home at the moment. She's going to be getting ready for work in a minute. And here she comes. Good morning, chicken. Okay. You said only the 2 cats, and then the cats came on camera. Love to see your cat. Yeah, she did. She's not around too much. She's definitely, Angel is not a lap cat by any stretch of the imagination. She is a very independent sort, and if she does come near you, it's definitely on her terms, not yours.
Have you got any more little squashes?
In the cupboard above the chopping board, there's a little Robinson's one. Why? Why? Okay. Should be where all the saucers are.
Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah, so Angel is not, like I said, particularly a lap cat. She's a her terms sort of moggy. She will come down and make her presence felt when she's hungry, and often curls up with Hannah at night, but that's about it. Just grab a drink. Kay, who is Sussex Stitcher, the other Kay, says, "Ting-a-ling, Hannah will be pleased." Yep. About the unicorn being out to stitch. Yeah. I don't think this piece is going to take very long at all, because every 1,000 stitches will be like 3%. Victoria Howarth. Oh. Sorry about that. That was Lauren calling to tell me that she still got Andy's bank card. She went and got a new school bag last night. Oops. I always have to answer those calls from Lauren in the morning, because it very often can be something urgent, or, you know, something important. So as I was saying, before Lauren interrupted us, Victoria Howarth says, "I can't believe you've only got 2 new starts to pick from. Where is the time going? Great update, really enjoyed it." Thank you very much. So, like I said, I've got a number of ones to put on the next wheel. I've got Rivendell, I've got All Is Vanity, I've got the Geckorouge kit that I was very kindly sent, which you may actually wait until to put that one on, because I'm currently working from a paper chart, and that one will be a paper chart. I don't want to have more than one paper chart going at a time. What else have I got? I've got the Lord of the Rings travel posters and a bunch of Marta Daleks too, so I still have a good number of pieces to pick from. I do definitely want to finish the backstitching pandemic first, because then it's completely done, isn't it? Been a bit naughty really, not actually finishing the back stitch on it. I've done some of it, but just not all. So I think that's going to be my aim over this Easter weekend. Get that one fully finished. What are you having for breakfast? Chicken yogurt?
Yogurt.
Okay. You have a good night?
Actually, it went bad.
Good. Michelle L says, Nicola, I think you need a new kit once you've endured your dental work. Just a thought because you've earned it.
Don't encourage you.
Well, I'm going to have my annual Geckorouge voucher coming in a couple of months, and I still haven't spent my birthday money from Noodles. Because Noodles said he'd buy me a kit.
Speaking of Noodles, he just said it's okay, I don't need it.
Okay, thank you. Well, I suppose he has got his own, but I just didn't want him to think that he'd lost his card.
Yeah.
I guess he would have probably realised that Lauren hadn't given it him back, but first reaction is, oh crap, I've lost my card. Isn't it? And then she says phenomenal stitch count this week. Thank you very much. Because I am counting model stitch in there too. And, you know, when I do get a case of Saturday chair butitis with the side order of Stitchy Bug, I can get in quite a lot of stitches. I think there was about 2,500 this Saturday just gone. So, which is what's made me think about putting Night Cafe in for Saturday stitching. Once my Friday Saturday piece is done, work on Night Cafe. I wish I had all the stitchy time in the world, but sadly I don't. I still have to work for a living.
But I'm dreading it because the first thing I've got to do this morning is sort out hot boxes for delivery.
Oh, right, okay.
I'll sort all that out and split it.
And don't forget to sort out about your holiday too.
Yeah. I'll get Shelley to come in and sort that with me because she's got a big gob. So she'll get there just as quick as I can.
Okay. Celia comments to say, finally the unicorn. Oh, yes, indeed. That is coming out. 20-something projects in the rotation now. It's a lot, which is hence the 2 finishes, 1 start. My aim is in the next sort of couple of years or so to get back down to single digits for work in progresses if I can. Of course, it does depend on a number of factors: model stitching, work, you know, family stuff, all the rest of it. Speaking of work, I was meant to be on holiday week commencing the 5th of May, but I've brought it forward a week, so
and now I had to bring mine forward.
And now Hannah's bringing hers forward because Hannah wants to have the week off with me. We've got a couple of plans, haven't we, kid?
But equally, because the other clinic at my place had already got that week off, they were asking if I could change it anyway. I did let them, I'll get back to them.
Yeah, I think that's only fair, isn't it?
I might brush my teeth this morning.
Well, I think you should.
Remaining teeth anyway.
Just do it gently.
I'm not going over that side, but the rest of it will get
Just do it gently, yeah. Kathy Brown says, Unicorn, I was starting to think it was going to be last. I look forward to your Flosstube on Tuesday lunch breaks. Thanks for your videos. You're very welcome, Kathy. I'm exactly the same as you. I have certain times of the week where I know that a Flosstuber is going to release a video. I look forward to that time watching. And occasionally it doesn't happen for whatever reason. I get all disappointed. But for me, I definitely try and keep that regularity. And Tuesdays are my Flosstubing day. Okay, Karen Ennis says, hurrah for the unicorn. Indeed. I'm not normally sort of a stitcher of things like that, but again, it's one of those pieces that just appealed. It's weird, isn't it? But I think, I mean, my pieces, I've said it before, are huge variety. There's lots of different styles and subjects. Tracy Albert says, yay, unicorn, love that. I'm sure Hannah will agree with me. Looking forward to the video on Saturday, and I hope you get happy news with your, Hannah's trumping, happy news with your new teeth. Thank you, Tracy. It's all going well so far.
Then cheaper or a lot as good as the full brand.
Oh, right, okay. As long as they do and do the job.
Well, I assume so.
Unicorn will be fun, says Kelly. Kelly's Quilts and Cruisers. She says, greetings from the Maui Beach Hotel at nearly 5 p.m. Hawaii time. We're here for tonight only because we can't get into our condo until tomorrow. And Kelly is spending her anniversary over in Hawaii. Very envious, and I hope, Kelly, that you're having a wonderful time. Monique says, I understand why Hannah loves the unicorn. I never saw it, but I love it too. Yeah, I think I've enabled 1 or 2 people with some of my choices for these starts. Cosmic Marbles, I know a few people have bought that on the back of me starting it, and Unicorn has made its way to some wish lists. So, yeah. And of course, you know, when I do my live streams and we have the sew and tell thread, people definitely get enabled with that. In fact, Lauren has dubbed our lovely Patsy Missy. She's dubbed her PayPal Patsy. Because Patsy looks forward to sew and tell, because collecting these charts and beautiful patterns is just as much as a hobby as stitching them. At one point, my pattern keeper only held projects that I was stitching. Now it holds a lot. For me, a lot. Oh dear. Great progress as usual, says Heather Marie. Love the unicorn and I love Geckorouge. You might just have enabled me to order this one. Ah, you see, there you go. Sorry, not sorry. You know, you guys know that I love my Geckorouge pieces. I knew about Geckorouge for a long time. It took me a while to actually order a piece from them. But, you know, when I got the piece that I'd ordered, I can't remember which one was the first one. I think it might have been this one. Oh, do you know? I don't know, I'm chucking things about now. Oh, it's completely disappeared. Oh. My needle minder's gone west. Oh, I'll find it in a minute. The Lorna Laine cat was the piece that I was going to show you there. My needle minder just completely vanished. And I ordered the bee as well, but of course the bee I kept for this batch of starts. Oh, there it is. No wonder I couldn't find it. It was caught in the fabric. That one. Black cat with butterflies, which was also a Lorna Laine. Okay. Joyce Stitchy Dutchy has given me a ting-a-ling on that one, the bell milestone. Yes, indeed, because I reached milestone on Night Cafe. Thank you, Joyce. Celebrate every milestone. I've said this all along a lot of times now. This hobby takes a lot of time, a lot of patience. And every time that we reach a milestone, we should definitely be celebrating it. And it doesn't matter what that milestone is. Is it a page finish, a row finish, a skein of thread used up, a 0 on the on Pattern Keeper, get to 5%, 10%, even 1% more on a supersized max colour, definitely should always be celebrated. Look at this, I've got a knot in my thread. It's just not on. Oh, there we go. I managed to unknot it. Let's put that piece of thread there because I shall be using that shortly. Okay. This year will be my 36th anniversary, says Karen on live stream Wednesday. We were talking about it was because it was Kelly's anniversary. We were talking about years married and children and pets and so on. Karen says she has 3 cats only. Hey, they can be just as much children, can't they? They can be just as demanding. If my angel is anything to go by. It's true that with your stitch with me, I feel like I'm sitting on your couch in the room with you, says Kathy. Your lives feeds are unique and I just love them. I look forward to every Wednesday and Sunday. I usually watch it on repeat, but today I peeked in for a couple of minutes while I was at work. That's our secret. I won't tell Kathy. I'm glad that you enjoy them. I like my live streams purely on a selfish level because Wednesday it breaks up my working week and Sunday it rounds it off in a way that I feel happiest with friends. But I do get a lot out of the fact that you guys enjoy them too, and you enjoy the chat with the family and the show and tell and all the rest of it. So yeah. Wendy Stitching says, do you get credit from YouTube if we watch the ads? I try to watch them all in case it helps, but I wasn't sure. So, yes, so my channel is monetized and I get revenue from people watching and from people watching the ads. What I say is, you know, if the ads are not terribly obnoxious and long, do try to leave them to run. But, you know, if they are, you know, there was a time a couple of years back where YouTube were running ads that were like 45 minutes long. And I'm like, nobody wants to watch that. I think with those longer form adverts, if you watch it at least, you know, 30 seconds or something like that, then we get the credit. I'd have to sort of do a Google and find out, because they do tend to change the goalposts all the time. But yeah, basically ad revenue helps, which is why, you know, I do have ad breaks in my videos. And watching ads and, you know, clicking on my videos and watching them and watching ads is obviously a way that you can help to support it without it costing you a penny. I mean, obviously I do have my things like my buy me a coffee, but, you know, I know for some people, you know, just sort of, you know, gifting via such as buy me a coffee is not an option. So, you know, I monetized the channel and added ads so that people could support without it costing. And of course, liking the video and making a comment, any kind of comment, also helps. The more interaction the video gets, the better it ranks with the YouTube algorithm. And YouTube sends it to more people who might like to watch it. So, on my Anita and Verity New Start Crafty Kate comments, I'm loving the new start. I enjoy all your stitching. Thank you, Kate. I've loved doing these new starts. There was definitely a dry spell for a while with new starts. I had a year or more without a new start. So apart from obviously model stitches, which I have no option but to start. It did enable me to get some good progress and stuff on my existing projects. So yeah. But this year it was definitely a start. All the things. Carla on live stream Wednesday, the one where I'd posted a picture in my Facebook group of my new smile. She says, "Hi Nicola, lovely smile." Thank you, Carla. We finally got there, although I'm not complete yet. We're not far away. And Jane on my Flosstube says, sorry I'm late watching. I'm always amazed by how many stitches you manage to do. Lap job, yeah. Hope all is going well with dental, and look forward to seeing you when it's done. And you're comfortable unicorn at last. I'm sure the world heard Hannah's shouts of joy. Thank you, Jane. Yeah, but my stitch count is, you know, a number of factors. Stitching like it's an Olympic sport, adding in the model stitching count, and you know, working from home. It all helped. And of course I have a wonderful Andy who is, you know, I do very little in the way of like housework and stuff. Andy really is a superb help in that department. I don't have a lot of, it sounds awful, I don't have a lot of responsibility because Andy works part-time and I work full-time. He, let me just restitch that one, it slipped. He takes on the mantle of doing housework and things, although I do the weekly shop and I cook Sunday dinner and special occasions and stuff like that. Andy does the washing, the laundry, the washing up, hoovering, you know, tidying type of thing. And you know, and he keeps on top of that. It's fair and equitable for us. I work more than twice the hours that he does. And of course, you know, it also enables him to go off and do his TVI stuff. Oh, didn't realise that I was almost slipping off camera. Just mark these ones off. Okay, Sussex Stitcher on Van Gogh Never Passed. Stitch with me that I did. Leaves me some hearts. Thank you very much. Any interaction is good interaction. And it all helps. And I get it from, you know, when we were talking about this before, sometimes all people can muster is an emoji. And that is fine. I want people to do what they're comfortable with. This piece is fairly blocky, which is nice from what I can see. Laura Silby says on my Flosstube 14, yay! I'm finally able to start catching up on Flosstube, loving the progress. Thank you, Laura. Hope things have settled down for you now. Laura is over in New Zealand and had a recent house move. Yeah, hope things are returning to normal. Let me adjust this camera. There. That's better, you can see what I'm doing. Pixie Pops posts on Flosstube 11, which is a few weeks ago. She says, such a positive podcast as ever. Love the chart for the Sal and will be the perfect little break for the confetti heavy project I'm working on. Yeah, that was another reason to pick the Michaela Lerner one, because it wasn't particularly confetti heavy, not a lot of colours, a nice easy stitch, 14 count fabric, Bosch, 100 stitches a day. Yeah. If you are interested in joining a May sale, the pattern details are in the description box. And we're doing it with an aim. There's an event on my Facebook group. We're doing it with an aim to achieve 100 stitches a day. By the end of the month, if you manage your 100 stitches a day, 3,100 stitches. That's a fair chunk of progress. Oh, here comes Hannah. It must be nearly time to set off for work. Very nice. You look lovely.
Oh, you to thought doctors be saying a bit.
Yeah, thank you. Will you let me know what happens about your holiday, yeah?
Yeah. Should be alright, because like I said, they were complaining that they weren't going to clean it for 5 days. So
Yeah,
if you want to clean it, they'll change it, won't they?
Yeah, but just let me know, won't you?
You better put your shoes on.
You had, hadn't you? You can't walk down there barefoot.
Well, I covered, they won't like you.
And who's they? When you say they, do you mean your feet?
No, managers. We got one at Peach that walked around with no shoes on and they complained like Mary Ellen said. What they can do, like.
One at service users. Not much they can do about that.
Exactly. She put shoes on as she's going like out and about, and just obviously, she's only going outside our place or a fag. You should have run. Right, I'm leaving.
All right, chicken. Have a lovely day.
I hope I will.
And I'll see you later. Bye. Enid on New Star Unicorn leaves me a happy face. Thank you, Enid. That's Hannah off to work. And then Katie says, good day, hope you're doing well. So soothing for me to watch you stitch. Thank you for sharing. You're very welcome, Katie. I quite like Stitch With Me's. I don't watch as many as I could, or maybe even should. But I do like the ones with, you know, sort of gentle conversation. Type of thing. It's my kind of Stitch With Me, and of course I quite enjoy creating the ones with a gentle conversation too. I think this sort of trend will continue, that whatever I'm working on when I film on the Wednesday morning for Stitch With Me, I will continue having a chatty Stitch With Me that's released on a Saturday, and either ASMR with no conversation, or what I call my alternative Stitch With Me's with music, released on a Thursday, because I think that seems to be working quite well. Plus, as well, with it being regular once a week, it's easier to see where the comments end. I don't have to rewatch my video and try and work it out. Unfortunately, there's no way that you can mark on YouTube. So, yeah. I'm just going to take a little comfort break. I'll be back in a sec. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Needs to go to the little girl's room. I get to a certain age, and there ain't no delaying it. Okay, where we are? Where are we? Kay, on my new start video, Sussex Stitcher. Sorry to hear you aren't well. I know that you've coped really well with all the dental work, but I don't think it can be anything but stressful for a human. Sustained over that many weeks, especially if you're not too keen to be at the dentist, and now is the time to be kind to yourself. Yeah, absolutely. I am not a fan of the dentist. I don't think anybody in the world is a fan of the dentist, but yeah, it's over with for the most part now. I've just got to go back and have a little bit of refitting done, and perhaps some building up here and there just to create a better fit. The dentures they do fit, but they don't fit well, which I didn't know that was going to happen, because after all the teeth have been taken out, my gums have shrank and moved, and you know, you can't predict it. You can take moulds when the natural teeth are there, but you can't predict how it will look when no, you can't predict, you know, how it will look when all of the teeth are out and the dentures are made. It's complicated, but I'll get there. Wendy says, beautiful stitching. I wish I could stitch as fast. I normally only get 5,000 to 6,000 stitches a month. I've said it many times, Wendy. For me, I'm very fortunate with the amount of time I can spend doing this. And being a two-handed stitcher as well, I don't move an awful lot, if that makes sense. I don't, you know, you can see from my top hand, I don't move it far away from the work at all when I'm pulling the thread through. And I only work with short lengths of thread too. I think that actually does make a difference. Although I'm having to thread up and reconnect a little bit more often, having a shorter thread means less chances of knots and things like that. So I'm not spending my time sorting those out. Pattern keeper as well, huge bonus stitching with pattern keeper, because it means that I can see all of the stitches in that colour that need to be done much easier than I can on paper. Two-handed stitching and the years of practice that I've had at two-handed stitching as well means that I'm quite quick. I am right-handed, and for a lot of people, two-handed stitching, the dominant hand has to be underneath, but for me, I'm the opposite, and my non-dominant is underneath. Although I've said it before, I am pretty ambidextrous. I can get my left hand to do pretty much what my right hand can do, with the exception of actually writing. Also, the fact that I can talk, look at the screen where I'm recording my stitching, and pattern keep it in turn and still not lose where I am, I think that comes as a side effect, if you like, of my job. I work on a computer with two screens, and very often I am talking on a phone at the same time, so I've got a headset on my head and I'm typing away something completely different. So, you know, I can do different things at the same time. My eyes currently are connecting with my hands for the stitches, and my brain is connecting with my mouth for the talking. You know, so it's something that has taken years and years of practice to do. I do occasionally still sometimes, if something is a particularly onerous problem, I do occasionally sometimes get a little annoyed at myself, and I do end up being distracted, but not very often. That's when the mistakes happen, but you know, I try and keep the frog at bay as much as possible. Just move the screen a wee bit. There we go. Lots of new starts lately. Love it, says Julie Churches. Yeah, they are coming to an end very soon, Julie. So there's this one and one more, my Maysal, and then my first to finish for one start, and that's it for a while. And then Mal on my Unicorn New Start says, quite an interesting comment, talking about other crafts, I call it alternate crafter day, where every Saturday I spend my time doing another craft, not the whole, just a few hours. The stitchy bug always pulls me back in. It certainly does, doesn't it? I mean, for me, cross stitches, you know, I think Andy would say it's like a religion. You know, I do it at such a scale, but I absolutely love it. It, you know, I've said it many times, it should be available free to everyone. It's such a soothing hobby. I certainly find that it does help. I have quite high anxiety. It definitely helps with that. I spend some time with my stitching and all is right with the world. Speaking of my anxiety, I went back to the doctors this week and I got an increase in my meds, which is unsurprising considering what I've gone through the last few weeks. It's been quite horrendous, really, when you think about it. I've had all the stuff going on with dental, extremely busy at work, under some pressure. Not a lot, but enough. And then stuff like this mammogram and things like that. Lauren is almost at leaving school point. Hannah has also had a little dental work done. Of course, I've always got my stepdad to worry about too. Andy's had one or two issues with his son. He's being a typical teenage boy at the moment, and it's causing Andy a little bit of upset. But yeah, I'm not surprised. Karen made a great suggestion on my Sunday stream, saying maybe if you make them pay you for all the bad words, you get a new pattern. Definitely. I think I should be introducing a swear box for my kids, for sure. Hannah and Lauren love each other very much, but oh my gosh, do they fight. But it's funny because when we were in Manchester, they spent the day together, no fight, no argument, just real nice, very happy, enjoyed themselves. We separated from them, and me and Andy were kind of on tenterhooks waiting for a call. Oh, she's done this or she's done that. Never came. However, sometimes all they need to do in the morning is wake up, and that's it, they're off. Come on, scissors. This, by the way, is a big patch of 498. 498 is the third highest for the number of stitches in this pattern. And it almost seems like I'm looking at like naturally colour completing, doesn't it? We'll see. This is the scarf that's around the cat's neck. Daphne is watching the live stream from Sunday on replay, and somebody asked a question about DMC colours and why they were numbered in the way that they were, and she did do a little Google and has shared with us what she found. DMC's numbering system for their embroidery floss has evolved over time, particularly after a merger with Thiriez and Cartier-Bresson in the 1920s. Initially, DMC used numbers sequentially, but the merger introduced a more complex system to avoid duplicates. TC and B had numbers starting from 500, where DMC used numbers from 1, leading to a mix of numbering when they combined. It's resulted in a somewhat illogical order, as shades within a colour family may not always be grouped together numerically. So there we go. It's all down to a merger. So thank you for sharing that, Daphne. It explains why we have pinks and reds in the 300s and pinks and reds in the 800s and so on. And that random yellow in the 300s, where they're mainly in the 700s, and the 3850s. Yeah. And here we have a random red 498. Reds in the 800s, reds in the 300s. Okay, one of these days I'll catch your live stream when it actually happens, says Maria Valletto. Between work and the time difference, I always seem to miss it. Wonderful stitches by everyone. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate I can't be there for all people in all time zones. It's a bit difficult because it's morning for some people, night for others, mid-afternoon for others. If I could live stream longer, I would do. But I can only do, unfortunately, what I can do. I'm thinking about doing a last man standing stream, but I don't know when I'm going to get to do that. Karen Spells says, beautiful work as always, lovely design. I always love watching you stitch. So relaxing for me. Happy stitching to you. Thank you, Kel. That was on Unicorn. Hope you're finding this one just as relaxing. And then Gail watched the live stream Sunday on replay. Had a rough few weeks. She says, I hope you're well. Take care. Yep, straight back at you, Gail. I hope you're doing okay too. I know you yourself have had a difficult time, and I do hope that things are starting to improve. Okay, Kay, one day ago, Stitchify for another relaxing video, listening to your replies to comments while I stitch. I've enjoyed seeing your new starts each week, and it's sad to think that they're nearly all done until you start your one new start for 2 finished projects. I'm not counting the May Sal, as that's an extra. Looking forward to seeing your progress on next week's new start, and I hope I'm not time travelling again next weekend, because I will have caught up completely. I'm back to just 2 days behind again. Thanks, Kay. I know you've had a couple of time travelling weeks, haven't you, where you've watched the Sunday stream and then gone back to the new start video released on the Saturday. But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? I know you did get quite a bit behind during whip parade season, but yeah. And Kay marks the last comment, so once again, thank you all for your wonderful comments and your interactions. It really does feel like, you know, a big group of friends. We're all in it together, which is really nice. Yeah, got a bit more stitchy time, and try and get whatever else we can get done on Mr. Cat's scarf. I have work today as usual, and then I'm working tomorrow, and then I'm off on Friday, and I'm also off on Monday, Friday being a bank holiday, Good Friday, and then Easter Monday. I do like a good bank holiday season. We've got a few coming up, because we've got the Good Friday and Easter Monday, and then we've got early May bank holiday, late May bank holiday. And then the next one is August, and then we're down towards the Christmas season. I do like our bank holidays here in the UK. Part of the reason that I work in the job that I do, because I am a 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, no weekends, no bank holidays kind of gal, which is lovely. Love the 9 to 5 life, absolutely love it. And of course, you know, as I said before, with working from home, it's not terribly taxing in terms of the commute. It's from one room to another. I do go into the office. Well, I'll be starting to go back in weekly. Now I've had the majority of this dental work done, unless I am delivering training, which I prefer to do from home. Excuse me. But I am aiming to go into the office next week, go and see my colleagues before I'm... Oh, sorry about that. See my colleagues excuse me, before I start annual leave, and training again, so yeah. Don't know why I did that. This is quite an easy little stitch actually. It's not bad at all. I'm almost at 1% already. I will be when I've marked off these stitches, I'm pretty sure. That's that. And those stitches are done, I think. Are they? Yes. Oh, and those. Oh, done more than I thought. That's quite good. I'm quite pleased with this today. I'm definitely over 1% now. I've marked those little lots off. It seems to be stitching up quite quickly. So I'm going to mark these ones off, and then we're going to be calling it a day for this session. Okay, so let's just there. Okay, 398 stitches, which isn't bad, is it? I'm quite pleased with that. 1.15%, which is absolutely awesome. Thrilled to bits. So yeah, so I'm going to end up with my usual reminders of 3 videos on your screen in a moment. If you've not seen those, please do go take a few minutes to have a look. Flosstube on a Tuesday, Stitch with me Thursdays and Saturdays, and live stream Wednesdays and Sundays at 7:30 PM UK time. So if you can join me for any or all of those, it would be fantastic. And I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Happy stitching. See you on the next one. Bye bye for now.